it's such an important lens to hold of that surrender and kind of taking ownership for the parts of the artist's process that are our responsibility and the parts that are not up to us. And
Yeah.
that was a huge breakthrough for me. A few years ago, I had this huge stockpile of music, hadn't released anything of my own. I'd featured on some stuff but I was holding it so tight to my
Mm.
chest with this concept that I was going to meet someone who was discover me and then I would get this
Mm.
big record deal, in which case then I would have the budget and the support to release my music.
Mm-hmm.
And then the world went into quarantine.
Mm.
And I had this song called Patience. And I was like,
Mm.
oh my gosh, the world needs patience. That's what we need
Mm.
right now. We need to be patient. And I felt so selfish for hoarding this song.
Mm.
And I was
Wow.
like, I cannot hold this just in my laptop anymore. Like, this needs to be out in the world. It is bigger than me. It is beyond me. This song came through me, but it is not for
Mm-hmm.
me. It is for
Mm.
whoever it's meant to support. And that catalyst, moving that song through and just trusting and leaning into getting that one out, opened the floodgates for me. And I developed
Mm.
this kind of relationship with my music of a mother, of a steward, and witnessing my role as the mother of these songs is to birth them, to bring them through, to tend to them. What do you need? Each different song has its different needs. Maybe this one needs violin and this one needs some bass, and I can call upon people to support, but my role is to steward the process and to support this being in becoming.
Mm.
And then it gets to a certain point at which I call this piece of art complete, even though art
Yeah.
technically you can
Right.
work on forever,
Right.
right? So we determine that. And I find in myself there's like a moment where my system recognizes it. It's like, there's an exhale, and it's like, okay, this is the version.
Yeah.
This is done. I have no more notes. It's ready.
Yeah.
And at that point, I ask it again. Okay, what do you need? What is your story? How would you like to be released? And I let this song drive that process. And it's always individual. Each track has its different way. Some are, if it's like a dance banger and it wants a lot of promotion, and I'll give it that. And
Mm-hmm.
there's been certain songs that I literally didn't even say a word and then just released it. I was
Mm.
like, hey, by the way, this song is out.
Yeah.
And taking my control off the steering wheel of what happens after the song gets released was such a surrender for
Mm.
me, and really just alleviated so much weight on my shoulders, because at the end of the day, I'm not a marketer. I'm not the one that's going to be making it a hit or not, making it successful or not. The thing that's going to do that is people's reception and people's willingness and draw toward that song. And so, yeah, just I think for any artists out there that relate to this and are hoarding whatever their art is for the need, either for it to be perfect or
Mm-hmm.
because you don't feel like you can take it to the level it wants to go to, I really encourage letting that down and getting it to the finish line, getting it out there so that that song can live, that piece of art can live
Yeah.
and do what it's here to do. It's not here to sit in our gallery by ourselves collecting
Mm.
dust. It's meant to be listened to, enjoyed, danced to. And that is where the magic is. And what I find is that's actually my fuel. Getting the music out, it's not about how big the song gets or how the fame or success works within that track, but it's the one individual coming to me and saying, hey, I was in a dark place and that song helped
Mm-hmm.
me. Or that is what I put on first thing in the morning and it puts me in the right mood for the rest of my day.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah.
And just that one person that it touches is worth it.